So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here once again. Hopefully, you find some good stuff here that you keep on coming back. Today, we're putting together a fairly interesting episode. It's the first of a few that we do, where we talk about fantastic shots and their masters.
Oh, great shot to bring up the half century in his last Test innings. He dug it in short, and then Tendulkar waited.
Shots, which have kind of become trademarked to certain batsmen. All pleasant to watch, the batsman and the shot also. So, Shanti, what are we talking about today?
Well, shots and the masters almost takes me to thinking that we're doing something with the other shots I know. But okay, which we have mastered, which is generally after the quiz. But yeah, I think we're talking about two interesting shots. One fairly, I think, as old as cricket itself, probably, and one fairly new in the sense that it's been around for about maybe 15 years. So you got something which is more than 140 years old and something which is 15 years old. So the first shot is obviously the straight drive, and it's as straight as the word suggests, but we'll get into it. And the second is something which is a lot of people credit one Indian cricketer for doing it. We'll come to that shot and that person later, but you'll be surprised to know it's not entirely his innovation as well. So we'll discuss that. Let's get to the straight drive. Straight to the straight drive.
Awesome. So straight drive, to my mind, is the most perfect of all cricket shots.
Straight back past the ball for four.
Like, I can watch it absolutely endlessly. Let's play this out mentally, So like Shoaib Akhtar is there, at the top of his run up. He flicks his hair and then starts pounding down. And at the other end is Sachin Tendulkar. And Shoaib pulls it in his characteristic style. It comes streaming in. Sachin just gently moves into the ball and taps it. It hits the middle of the bat, and he leans forward and just puts his weight onto the ball. And the ball whizzes past Shoaib, and the hapless fielder from mid-on or mid-off, wherever he's chasing the ball from, runs up to the boundary but is not able to catch the ball at all.
There will be a counter-attack from the Pakistani bowlers, that's for sure. Oh, great timing. That was just a gentle push. And what an over for India.
Now, what I particularly enjoy about the straight drive is the economy. Strangely, you don't get to see it that often in any format of cricket, even though coaches have always said that that's the best area to play a shot, because it's very difficult to set a field for right behind the bowler.
True.
I guess that's because of the fact that bowlers are mostly trying to attack outside off stump.
Right.
The angle perhaps just isn't conducive to a straight drive. It's only when the ball is on off or on middle that the straight drive comes into picture.
True. I remember when I was learning cricket for the first time and in the nets with late Sir Ramakant Asrikar, and he would put it very nicely. He's saying that it's your first shot really in cricket, because you tend to defend with the straight drive as much as you can attack with it, right? So it's also your basic defensive stroke, but if you play it well, it becomes your attacking stroke. Also, it's very unusual because you're generally if you're training in cricket, you're playing it in the nets, and imagine the nets almost like like a horse wearing the two things at the side, right? Yeah. So your focus is generally straight down the pitch because you're almost in that box, correct?
Yeah.
And that's where you tend to sort of look to go forward or back with a straight bat. So that is another sort of analogy which he used to say. And later on, I think when I first heard commentary for the first time, I think what was very interesting is, I don't know who said it, but you said you should always show the maker's name on the bat to the bowler.
Right.
So you should show the Simons or the Duncan Furley or the GM or whatever straight down the bowler. So I think
Yeah.
it's a very fundamental stroke, and somehow a very underrated stroke, because it's a very difficult stroke to play, especially when you're attacking. Again, we've seen over the years so many different players playing it so well, sublimely at times. So yeah, I think my first memories really are Shivaji Park with a very bad bat. Uh, First experience in the nets, because till then you were playing gully cricket. I'll just add one more short thing here, and I think that's where the Tendulkar thing comes in. Generally when you're playing anywhere in India, especially like cities, you're playing in a very small gully, or you're playing in either at the backyard of your building where everything is a straight angle. You don't have either left or right much to, right? I played in the backyard of my building, so you're almost conditioned to play straight. And I think Tendulkar mentioned that sometime when he was growing up, he was playing in a place which was very constricted, left and right. So
Hmm.
he tended to move accordingly in a straight angle, which is probably what explains the mechanics
True,
behind the shot.
true, true. In fact, like even geometrically speaking, like it's perhaps the best shot to watch.
Yeah,
Like everything just seems to be absolutely uh, perfect
correct.
when it comes to a straight drive. Like it's poetry in motion.
Right, very true. Again, I mean, a little aside, little memory again from childhood. There is a bookstore in Bombay, in Dadar, very close to my house in Shivaji Park. It's called Marine Sports. It's one of the oldest cricketing bookstores in India. And he had the largest collection of cricket books. He still has it. It's still going on even today, by God's grace. Um, I remember my dad taking me there many years ago, maybe in the mid 80s. And there was this book on Australian cricketers. And the first photograph in that book was a double spread of the Victor Trumper shot,
Hmm.
where he's sort of coming out to hit the straight drive. And
Hmm.
it's an attacking straight drive. It's not one of those defensive straight drives. It's one of the most well-known photographs in cricket history. We'll put it up here. I think
Hmm.
George Beldam was the photographer. And even in that photograph, you can make out the sort of, as you said, the poetry in motion there, right? We're used to seeing the Tendulkars punch it, and the Rohit Sharma sometimes, even the Dravids do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that was the first time I saw a photograph that had so much action, potential, kinetic energy there behind it.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
True.
love the straight drive, obviously.
Absolutely.
Any cricketers who you felt were your favorite straight drive purveyors?
Gavaskar used to be fantastic.
Holland to Gavaskar.
That's beautifully driven. Holland just over pitching, and the little master coming down the pitch at the ball. Placed it beautifully.
While recent memory says Sachin Tendulkar, my first memory of straight drive is from Gavaskar.
Hmm.
Dravid, you mentioned, was very good at it. Jacques Kallis, Ricky Ponting, all of them. Even Shastri, like, he has this very characteristic way of playing the straight drive, like when he would drive the ball from well in front of him.
Yeah.
It wasn't as though the bat and pad were close together. Like, he would reach out for the ball and,
Right.
just give it a slight,
Yeah,
slight
I
flick.
think because of his height, he had that advantage. Though
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think he was so intrinsically linked to the chapati shot that people forgot
Yeah.
that he has a
True.
straight drive as well.
Going for it and getting it. There is Ravi Shastri's 100. Ninth one for India, the third one against England, and the first one in England.
Yeah, I think generally you always equate a good straight driving batsman with either an opener or a one down, right?
Yeah.
You generally have the classical openers like you mentioned, Gavaskar. You might have the one drops like a Jayawardene or a Dravid or a Kallis or a Ponting, and I think that's obviously to do with the fact that you're playing to the new ball, where the ball is harder, the conditions are tougher on the first day. Maybe it's swinging in England, or it's bouncing in Australia, or it's like scooting in India. And you'll have to see the shine of the ball. At least they used to before baseball started. So I think it's a very, very natural shot that comes to people. But there are two kinds of beauty to it. One is the defending straight drive, which I always thought Dravid was amazing at. He defended it almost like you're not going to get this past me, right? And then you have the attacking straight drive, which Tendulkar or even a Gawa used to play, though Gawa was better for his cover drives. But you had even Greenwich, who had a ferocious straight drive. Anything Greenwich hit was ferocious in any case, but I think he was a brilliant straight driver. Even somebody like Jayasurya, who was more of a lofted straight drive play. He had a straight drive jab almost. It was like a half jab, which used to put the ball over the bowler's head. So they rarely played it on the ground, really. But
we forgot about one person.
Sorry, who?
We forgot about one person. And since you brought the lofted straight drive into the equation, that one person is Virat Kohli.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like that, the sixth that he hit in Australia against Pakistan. Who was the bowler? I've forgotten the person's name.
Haris Rauf, I think it was.
Haris Rauf. That defied physics, like the way he played it.
Right. Okay. And I think, it's a lot to do with the kind of mental makeup the person has. So, with Tendulkar, it was always about his balance, right? He hit his best straight drives when he was most balanced, and he was one of the most well-balanced cricketers. Head in the perfect position, feet always in the perfect position, entire weight through the shot. Whereas with Kohli, it was more intent, right? You could make out that he was out to get you with a straight drive. So there was a lot more of a whip or an energy in that shot. Whereas Gavaskar, I think, was almost like, I know this is my V, and I'm going to bisect this V as straight as I can. I think for him, it just came naturally. It was just a very naturally gifted shot to have. But having seen the India-England series recently, did you see that there were very few straight drives, oddly?
No, Shubman Gill played a few, Rahul played a few.
Couple, but is it going out of the business? Because, people are in the T20 mold and generally, you do see the lofted six in a V. But, I haven't seen the straight drive employed as much as it was maybe about 15, 20 years ago.
Actually, it's always been a bit of a rarity. And I think that's got to do with the angle of the attack, all balls being, outside off stump as opposed to on off.
Right.
You'll pitch the ball outside off stump and either make it come in or leave the batsman.
Correct.
So maybe that's the reason why, you don't see it that often.
Right. But it's always the shot that will get the purists falling in love with you, right? It's always I think it's the most loved shot. And when you play it well, you get heavy, sort of praise for it.
It's a sight to behold. You can write poetry about it.
Correct. But is it your favorite shot in cricket? As in, is it as a player, because you played as well, and as a watcher or a viewer or somebody who's followed cricket, is it your favorite shot?
Undoubtedly, because the net impact of that shot is a lot more than 4 runs that you get, or whatever it is that you get. It is that with the minimum of effort, I have bested the batsman, the bowler.
Nice.
And made the fielder run to the boundary.
Boundary.
Goodness me, that is a terrific shot. Couldn't get down in time to stop that boundary. Just slightly over pitched and disappears back past the bowler. Brings up the 50 stand as well.
The straight drive.
Let's go to the second shot.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is an interesting one for those who think about why it was called so. So, Anshuman, in your knowledge, who's the cricketer that came up with the shot that we're talking about?
Dude, I know. So,
Right. So the second shot we're talking about is the helicopter shot. Now, this is, like I said, something which is slightly newer, maybe 15 or 20 years old, max. And obviously, the one name that sort of comes out straight away when you say helicopter is undoubtedly MSD, Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Six here. That's just another six of the day. The first ball in your face, thank you.
That's hit beautifully.
Who played it, perfected it, and then started playing it almost at will, right? And I think the first time I saw that being whipped out by him, I was like, "What the hell is this?" Right? So, what are your thoughts on the helicopter?
actually, before that, you posed a question about who probably came up with this.
Yeah,
I have a distinct memory of watching Azharuddin play this shot.
wow,
In fact, Azhar had this characteristic straight drive, where he would whip it
Yeah.
past the bowler. I think that's the origin of the
Interesting.
helicopter, and he probably might have lofted the ball.
Yeah.
Also.
I think you might be right, because in that, there was that innings where I think Lance Klusener's first test where he took 8 wickets. But Azhar scored a century in that, one of the most brilliant centuries in Test cricket. And he kept whipping Klusener. I think he hit him for 6, 8 consecutive boundaries in 10 balls or whatever. He was just playing the helicopter.
Now, Eden Gardens. He's bowled in. Or as he knows, he's gone to 4. Stunning that. I thought I saw Azharuddin just walk off, but that was a stunning shot.
The reason it's called helicopter more is because of the 6 versus the 4.
True.
Right. So obviously, somebody like Azhar would have hit more boundaries with it.
No, also the whirring of the arms.
Correct. Yes.
This is like a copter,
Correct. So it's like the helicopter blades going. But what do you think? What do you think would have sort of instilled that in Dhoni? I mean, if you look at Dhoni as a batsman, why do you think he would have almost come up with that shot or perfected it?
I think it would have been necessity driven. In fact, there is this interesting sequence in his biopic, MS Dhoni, The Untold Story, which shows how he learned that shot. So it seems like the shot was taught to him by a friend of his called Santosh Lal, who was a Ranji player also, and they used to play a lot of tennis ball tournaments together, where frequently bowlers would bowl Yorkers. And how is it that you get a counter to the Yorker? And that's perhaps how Dhoni learned this shot and came up with it as a counter.
I remember Arvinda playing a couple of shots like that. Maybe Sanat Jayasuriya used to play a couple of shots like that. But
also I remember.
Sorry?
Abdul Razak.
Oh yeah, Abdul Razak used to play a good helicopter. Yeah, correct.
And then I think all these guys did not play the shot as often as MSD did.
Yeah, I think it became an MSD shot. I mean, for all practical purposes. Later, you saw maybe a Mohammad Shahzad, if you remember, of Afghanistan, that Portly opener. He used to play a very Dhoni-like shot, actually. Similar, very almost like a facsimile of Dhoni. I've seen Rashid Khan playing it a little bit in the IPL. He has that whippy sort of wrist action and he sort of hits it. Pandya Pandya does it fairly well. Right? But yeah, I mean, Surya Kumar Yadav has his own sort of version of it. Maybe Yuvraj played a few of those kind of shots, but Dhoni is essentially the guy who's known for the helicopter. What do you think? Why do you think it's an easy shot to play? I mean, like you said, the straight drive is not. It's a textbook shot, and it's to be executed with precision, whether you're defending or attacking. What do you think is the level of difficulty in playing something like a helicopter?
See, since the helicopter, we've started seeing a lot more difficult shots. But that doesn't make the helicopter shot any less complicated. There is a lot which is working there, in the sense that it's to be played to a ball which is pitched up almost Yorker length.
Correct.
Your bat swing is not a conventional bat swing. Like if you were to loft the ball straight, the parabola would be a
Hmm.
lot wider in a
Correct.
conventional lofted shot, as
Correct.
opposed to a helicopter drive, where like it's a very narrow parabola. Like the bat
Correct.
comes down somewhere here, like it's so you like you've contorted yourself, you're doing something which is unnatural. While you're playing the shot, you're getting your right leg out of the way.
Correct.
Yeah. Otherwise, like you let your leg on the follow through.
Yeah. True.
Uh, like think of Dhoni playing this shot. There would be repeated instances of him losing his balance after having played it.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Which tells you that it's not an easy shot to play.
I think he probably was almost leaping as he was going through the shot.
Absolutely.
Both his feet would be off
Yeah.
the ground literally when he
Yeah.
played that, right?
Yes.
And considering that the fact that he apparently he and Clive Lloyd have had and maybe Sachin Tendulkar have had the heaviest bats ever used.
Mhm.
Which is like a typical bat is about 1 to 1.1 kilo, and
Yeah.
Dhoni, Tendulkar, Clive Lloyd, would use about a 1.4, 1.5.
1 to 5, yeah.
Yeah, so it's that much difficult to execute with a heavy bat as well, right?
True.
Yeah, I mean it's not an easy shot to play at all, and there's so many. You can get bowled if you miss it. You can get, you could get LBW if you move your. I mean, if you don't move your foot out of the way,
You can hit yourself in the foot.
you can hit yourself in the foot. Yeah, yeah, you literally hit yourself in the foot. So interesting. I mean, there's a lot of. So they're two very different shots to each other, right?
Absolutely.
Do you think the helicopter shot is still relevant today? Because you see, like you said, a lot of these new shots that have come in today, right? Cricket is evolving all the time. You see the Surya Kumar has that scoop shot which he hits, which is of course a version of the scoop in a sense. And we'll come to this is a series on shots and masters, so obviously we'll talk about the Dil Scoop a little later. But you think that bowlers are getting cleverer today and you don't see the helicopter coming out? Because you don't see too many Yorkers again being bowled, apart from a Bumrah today.
No, Shanti, like put this in a T20 context. Like a Yorker would be a go-to ball. And there are plenty of solutions other than the helicopter shot, which now a batsman has. And which are even more outrageous than the helicopter shot. Like the reason why we're talking about the helicopter shot is that Dhoni came out, he was a star, and he made this shot his own. And where did he first reveal this? He revealed this in Pakistan.
I think that 180 or some 140 that he scored. I think that was the first time I remember. Yeah.
So I think at that point of time he was batting 1 down or 2 down, and that particular series he'd taken the country's imagination and Pakistan completely
absolutely
by storm. So we had this fantastic batsman, and this was his trademark shot.
Right.
So like that's why it stuck in our head. And then Dhoni went on to become MS Dhoni, the superstar, the mega entity.
Right.
Like the likes of Rashid Khan, the likes of Hardik Pandya play this shot essentially as a tribute to him.
Right. Lovely. So interesting topic today. We've started with a straight drive and we're going on to the helicopter shot. Since it's about shots and masters, is there any shot that you found the funniest shot in cricket? Like you always said, how the hell did this guy play this shot?
Okay, I had not thought about this, but since you're asking this, the first shot which has come to my mind is Syed Kirmani. I've forgotten who the bowler was, but this was a series against England in which someone bowled a bouncer to him and he swatted it like this, like a tennis shot.
That's funny. Yeah, the funniest one I've seen is I don't know if you remember watching. I mean, he's not a batsman you would watch, but you were watching Courtney Walsh have a bat, right?
Oh yeah, Courtney Walsh leaving the ball.
Yeah. He had this funny technique where he would hide his bat behind his legs, almost like a dog or a cat would hide their tail, right? And there was a particular game. I think this was towards the end of his career. And I think they were playing South Africa and Dale Steyn was steaming in 145s. And he bowled a perfect, it was going to take his stumps. So Walsh goes to sort of, leave it. It hits his bat, goes for 4. Okay. And then, forget that. It's obviously gone out of luck, right? And then he's actually practicing saying, this is how I hit the shot. which riles up Stain even more. So like he intended to play that, right? So yeah, so that is the funniest I've ever seen. A funny incident as well. Great. Guys, write to us about what are the shots you would like to cover. There are so many cricketing shots that happen, and keep getting added to the cricket pantheon of shots. For example, if I were to choose, I would choose the Douglas Marilier shot. Now, go figure what that means and why that guy is a forgotten guy in cricket. Anshuman, take it from here.
No, not why that guy is the forgotten guy in cricket. Why that guy should be a remembered guy in cricket.
Correct. Very true. So the hint is, for those who know, it might be covered in the previous, in the subsequent episodes, but look up on Douglas Marilier. Somebody else took all the credit for the shot that he invented. Today we call it by that cricketer's name, unfortunately. Right. So great episode. Anshuman, you want any closing thoughts on this before we finish?
Just one polite request. Like, if you've been watching, do subscribe, do hit like. It does wonders. Your encouragement, support means everything.
Right.
Till next time, thank you so much.
Right. So I think do a straight drive and go and press the like button, and then put a helicopter and go and do the subscribe button. Yeah? Thank you, guys. Have a great evening.
See you guys.
Cool.